I'd like to call to order the Parks Board meeting, and Mr. Brown will sit down. Monday, March 28th. Please. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. Do we have any citizens' comments, young man?
No, sir. No, not tonight.
Would you like to make one? That's fine, no problem.
I can if you need to.
I'll accept a motion. Mr. Heads first and Mr. Pike second. Approval of minutes, discussion, no. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Much. Did that locally. Whole business park project updates, Mr. Gillett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I give the park project updates, skip ahead to the bike pump track.
Yes, sir.
Those folks will be coming back next month. We're going to work with them and our staff a little further to try to identify some proper locations so you can remove that. Won't be on the agenda this month, but
yes, sir.
We've got some good ideas. We want to get with the rest of the city staff, and we want to kind of get some other clarification on where pickleball might end up also before we kind of move forward with the bike pump track.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Also, before we get started, there's a new face here. Mr. Ori Fugate is with us down at the end, our new recreation coordinator for athletics. Ori came to us from the city of White House. He's a White House High School graduate. Got his master's degree in sports management from Western Kentucky University, and he's excited to be here, and we're excited to have him. So that's the new face with us this evening. Now,
Can he play kickball?
can he play kickball? I think he'd probably try. We'll let him. We'll let him answer
I'm
that.
still thinking about the staff versus the board.
I don't know about that. In terms of projects, ongoing projects, this Saturday, April 2nd, 10 o'clock a.m., we will have the ribbon cutting for inline hockey. You all obviously are invited. Anyone in the city is invited. That coincides with the first games of our local Inline Hockey Association season. Obviously, we've had some tournaments out there. We've had two the last 2 weekends, but to me, it was important that those kids and families were given a little special treatment with the ribbon cutting of that facility. There's still some ongoing things that we have not completed. Next week, there'll be some safety netting installed. Several punch list type items we're still working on that project, but we definitely have had good response, and we were able to have the Chamber of Commerce luncheon out there last week. Had several great comments from people about how we can even make it better. So inline hockey facility is a plus for the city. Security cameras, we've worked with both soccer clubs, Hendersonville Soccer Club and Tennessee United Soccer Club. They are helping to purchase security cameras for both soccer concession stand areas. That's going to be a great addition back there. That will hopefully happen within the next month or so. We will soon see construction begin on the Memorial Park fountain, the big fountain in front of tennis, as we renovate that to get it updated to help take care of getting the right materials that won't hopefully show as much wear and tear over time on it. We have also ordered, Mr. Brown will be a fan of this, the Exit 7 LED sign to replace the Welcome to Hendersonville sign. We'll have an LED sign that has been ordered. That's going to be a huge addition and a huge plus for not only our maintenance staff, but all the things that we can do to get word out to the community about things going on in the city and in the parks. We're still waiting to hear back on a grant for the turf soccer field and rugby lights at this time, and we will soon be turning our application for a pickleball diabetes grant. That is my park project update.
Thank you. Any questions?
I do have one more, sorry. We're almost 100% complete at Veterans Park with the Beach High School softball field renovation that's going on. The county's done a great job. Beach has done a great job. Our maintenance staff has done a great job. That is a big time improvement to that facility and keeping that a home field for Beach. So we're proud of that project. Now I'm finished, sir.
I'll wait a beat or two just to make sure.
Yes, sir.
right, under new business, Parker Strong Foundation, Camille Caraway.
Yes, sir.
Oh, she called me sir.
Well, thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for letting me come and speak about the Parker Strong for Suicide Prevention and Education Foundation. I founded this organization about 3 years ago after I lost my 16-year-old son. He was a sophomore at Beach High School, and we did not have any warning signs that he was struggling, and we ended up losing him to suicide. So if you would like to know what someone looks like that has struggled with thoughts of suicide, I'm standing in front of you. So from that experience, I chose to be either a victim or a survivor, and I've chosen to be a survivor. I have chosen to go forth and put as much great things in the universe as I possibly can and help improve others' lives. Parker Strong is a grassroots organization that focuses mainly on prevention, education, and aftercare. We provide resources for anyone struggling with thoughts of suicide, and we provide counseling for individuals and families, and we also provide financial assistance for the unexpected loss of a passing of a loved one. So our motto is stand up, be brave, and move forward. So we stand up and be brave, and in doing so, we are able to reach out to one another and help those that are struggling to move forward. We could be what could be a better place than our beautiful parks department, our beautiful parks that we have in this fine city of ours, to be able to go and reach out and simply say, I'm concerned for you and I'm here to listen. How can I help? How can you help? How can we all just stand up as an individual and forget all the big things like who we are in the community or anything else, but literally within our four walls? And how can we go out and help one another on a personal level? The bench program in our parks is not only gives us a place to go and talk, but it's a destination. And what could be a better destination than a beautiful park bench sitting in one of our parks, or in my opinion, all of our parks. And we would be able to have a destination to say, hey, come walk with me. I would love to show you this new park bench. And it's a place to go that it's not a coffee shop or your home or their home or anybody's home. And I'm talking about your son, your daughter, your mom, your aunt, your niece, your nephew, your best friend, your neighbor down the street, the veteran that you know that lives on the corner. I'm talking about people in our community that you simply take one moment of your time and say, I'm concerned about you. How can I help? Let's go take a walk. And we go and sit on the park bench, and you're able to just say, I don't have the words, but I just want to sit here and listen, and I want to do what I can to help you move forward. I think that you're struggling, and I want to be here for you. That's it. It's as simple as that. I know that we are all stronger together and helping to stop this nationwide epidemic of suicide, and it is a nationwide epidemic. It starts with just a simple gesture of love, and it starts, like I said, within these four walls. It's not as hard as everyone thinks. It's just literally standing up and being brave enough to go to one another and say, come with me, take a walk. It's really quite simple. My board would say that our goal is to have one bench a year in our parks department. But I know the community leaders that I'm looking at right now would say, let's have benches everywhere in the parks. So I hope that we can all partner together and have park benches that we can go and have a community spot that you know you have a destination to go to that's got sunshine and the good Lord smiling down above, and be able to go and take anybody that you know that is struggling to go have a moment with them. So I will reiterate and say, we are all stronger together. What an amazing opportunity this is to partner up and have a great place to go. And if you were able to lay your head down at night and say that you did something as simple as reaching out to someone that you know and love and say, I'm just here to listen and I'm here to help. Let me help you move forward. Then that would be a great day for all of us. So I hope that we can partner up together. I'm grateful for this partnership. I'm grateful for this opportunity. And I know that together we can make an impact, and we're going to make an impact one person at a time. While we are out to save the world, we're going to start with the person next to us. And it's a grassroots, right in our home kind of opportunity. And I thank you for being brave with me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Since she talked to you, what are we motioning on, sir?
Well, you would need to make a motion to approve this bench with the logo, the Parker Strong logo, to be placed in the park. Jeremy met with them. You want to kind of explain the location?
Yeah, we picked we went and looked at a couple different spots, and whoever's familiar with the white line, the meeting point, I know Bubba is. We've got a meeting point there, kind of a trailhead there in the parking lot behind Field 7. And we just like that site. There's a spot there. We're going to do it. You'll be able to sit there and you'll look out at the creek. And what we decided to do, I talked to Andy. We had not done any improvements on walking trail this year. We've been trying to do that every year. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys approve this, they've agreed to pay for a concrete pad where their bench will sit. And I'm going to do about a $6,000 extension and redo the greenway there with concrete. So this will all get done at the same time. Everything will match up. It'll look really nice. So it'll emphasize that white line area and kind of give you a really good starting point of the trail. And hopefully every year we can just keep going a little further and keep going until it's all concrete and we get rid of all of our asphalt. But they've been very easy to work with. I like their pick on their bench. It kind of goes along with some other benches we have that have logos and designs on them. So 100% on board with this, and I'll help facilitate all this with them.
I, for one, think it's a wonderful idea. And quite frankly, getting older like I am, getting older, not being old, any place to sit down is kind of nice. So I'll entertain questions.
I'll make a motion, we approve this.
First, Mr. Perry, second, Mr. Head. Any more discussion?
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
Just out of curiosity, what do we see maintenance-wise on these?
Other
Year
than
to
maybe
year.
pressure washing it occasionally or something. And I said Field 7. It was Field 6. Sorry.
This would be, this type bench is what is at the main quad up there around the concession stand, which have been a great additions over the last few years.
Any more questions?
And hey, also I'll add, I know she wants to go further and do more, and I think that it'll be something we can just piggyback off of and keep going back, and so decide how many feet we want to go and do the next one. And literally she could go all the way to Veterans Park, wherever she wants to go with them.
I'm going all the way to Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Were you by any chance a cheerleader? Just asking. Any more questions? All in favor say aye. All opposed? No. You got it.
Woohoo! Thank you so much. This is great. We're all going to do good things.
Let's not be doing flips and stuff. Ice water vending at Saunders Ferry Park, Kyle Myers. Mr. Myers?
That was quite the pitch to follow there, I guess. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Basically, what I want to do is we want to get ice and water vending machines at the parks. I travel a lot with my day job and go to places all over the United States, especially down further south and things. And these ice and water vending machines are basically everywhere. They're super nice to have. As you see, this is at the restrooms at Saunders Ferry Park, kind of where it's photoshopped in there at. Saunders Ferry Park gives there a lot of events hosted there. The ice and water obviously is a commodity that anyone and everyone can use. I also live on the lake, so I look at it from that perspective. Right, when I go out on the lake, I don't want to go somewhere else and then go get ice and that sort of thing. The ice, like I say, the Frisbee golfers or the people from the lake or just the residents in town or whatever can get it. It's cheaper to buy it that way than it is to buy it at a gas station or at a convenience store. It goes through a 5-stage filtration system. So it's purified and clean and fresher than any ice you're going to get in an ice chest. In my opinion, with COVID and everything else related, this is the way ice should be dispensed. I mean, it's ice, but at least it's fresh and it's not over frozen and you're not throwing it on the ground to get it. With this machine too, you can bag it yourself or you can just put it straight into a cooler. They're pretty simple. I know you asked about maintenance on the bench. There's generally no maintenance at all. If so, my team and I will handle any maintenance. We do plan to concrete the area where it's at there. And then they were having some issues with people taking their gravel and putting it in the toilet. And I think we could probably concrete all the way around it. Jeremy, you had mentioned that. I think that's something that easily I can just have done when I do the rest.
Yeah, we've had some issues with vandalisms where the kids are taking the rock. There's pea gravel rock around there, and they're taking it and filling our toilets and commodes and urinals up with it, and it's really a hassle and expensive to clean up. So I was going to try if he does that side, the side that his ice machine is going to be on, then we were going to try to contract out doing the other side. So that way we would just knock that out. That would be something, an upgrade down there, and it would also hopefully cut down on some vandalisms. But we met Kyle down there and looked at it. It's not going to be, he's got a contractor that's going to come in and run the supply lines and everything to it. Won't be any issue on a maintenance side. And one other thing I'll add that he had mentioned that we learned about that machine recycles the water, which I thought was cool. If the ice melts in there, it continues to recycle that water. And I thought that was a neat aspect of that machine.
They're very simple. I'm open to any questions.
Mr. Gilly, do we have any problem with not getting a bid to do this, or can we do that as a board?
Yes, you're just approving basically him to operate this ice machine business in the park.
Okay.
If you look on page 8 of your packet, it kind of outlines where we've done some similar things with pontoon rentals, and we actually approved a location for an ice machine during COVID, but that kind of fell through. But this agreement is similar to what we've done with other individuals who've wanted to have kind of these type things in the parks. You'll see in the second paragraph there that 7.5% of gross sales will come back to the city's general fund twice a year, and also 2 different $500 donations per year to be designated to improve the disc golf course at Sanders Ferry Park, which we've been doing a little bit at a time. Also, if you make a motion to approve this, it needs to be contingent upon approval from the Corps of Engineers. Since this is one of our lease properties, they have to approve it also, which we've started the process of that, but that can take a little bit of time. We're not ready to tell you they've approved it tonight, so if you have a motion to approve, it needs to be contingent upon Corps approval. You already have.
Questions?
Oh, go ahead. Andy, are we any way responsible for any vandalism on this
Not a thing.
machine?
No, sir, and that's detailed within the agreement also.
I see that the term goes through December 31st. Is if we're making permanent changes, what happens after that?
On page 8, it details that it's agreeable to extend annually with mutual agreement of both parties, and if either people want to get out of it, 30-day written notice.
I may have spaced out in the beginning of your conversation.
Yes.
What's your experience in this? Have you owned other ice machines or what?
No, sir. No, sir. Well, I own others, but we don't have any out yet. Honestly, I'd like to get them in the parks. That's my goal, was to put them in the parks. What I said originally was I travel for my day job, and I go places all over the place, and I just see these machines all over the place. Mm-hmm. And I've used a ton of them, and I see that. I see what they add. My daughter plays travel softball, so we've been to parks in Georgia and places like that where they've had these machines in their parks, and it was super convenient when you got a 7 a.m. game and you know you're going to be there all day long. The machine itself makes about 1,900 pounds of ice a day. That's more than any of these chests in front of a gas station hold or anything like that. I'm in the car business. I'm not familiar with the ice business, other than what I've researched and come up with as far as these machines.
Okay. Because I know that location there on a weekend, if that machine's not big enough, it's going to be out all the time. So
And
I didn't know if it was going to be big enough.
From
to
a
accommodate
business
that.
perspective, right, that would be the best case scenario. But at 1,900 pounds a day and it holds 750 pounds at any given time, I just don't see that
Okay.
honestly happening. But and another thing is, as soon as someone takes a 10 pounds worth of ice, whether they bag it or put it in their cooler themselves, as soon as they do that, it automatically starts making 10 pounds more. So the process is that it's not supposed to run out. I guess realistically it could, but that would, like I say, be best case scenario from a business perspective.
I can't believe that we haven't already done this before.
I agree.
Tried.
I didn't.
Didn't. Not you.
I took a cooler one.
I think that they could be at Saunders Ferry Park and Rockland Park and Drakes Creek Park and the volleyball courts or Kids Kingdom, any of those areas, and I think they would be just as successful. Like they're March, April, right, to October 31st kind of a deal, right? We would pretty much after Halloween shut off the water, shut off any of that issue, have it cleaned out, but it would remain there.
Any more questions? Do I hear a motion to approve? I have a motion, Ms. Rather, to second. Mr. Perry, second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Everybody was, all in favor say aye.
I have one more question.
Jimmy's got one more question.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this is only for Saunders Ferry Park. If it was to move forward, we'd have to have another.
Yes, sir. My understanding is.
Mr. Pike, do you have a question?
No.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? You got it.
Thank you, sir.
Go
Thank you,
Mike
Chairman.
Irons.
Thank you, Mr. Gilly. Thank you.
Music City Flag Football Tournament. Mr. Clare?
I mean, yeah, you speak on it, yeah.
Come on up, brother. Don't be shy.
Sure. I know all of it.
For the record, state your name, sir.
I'm not Mr. Clare, Chris Ginn,
And that's why I did.
tackle football director, and I help with the flag. It's a flag football tournament for Flag Football for Life, scheduled for, we're wanting to do it towards the end of June. This year, we're projecting probably right around 40 teams on the low end. We had the tournament 2 years ago before COVID, and I think we finished up with 62 teams for that flag tournament. So this year, they came back to us because they had a great experience. Everybody loved everything about Hendersonville for what we had. So we're just trying to get a tournament late June. We walked off the rugby fields. We've talked to them guys down there. They're okay with us using them fields. We'll be able to have 6 to 8 flag football fields down there. We're already talking about bringing potentially portable restrooms in, not the porta-johns, but the nice cooled ones, and having food vendors come in for that, if approved.
To look it over there. Questions? I hear a motion to approve. Just, okay. Mr. Bennett's first. Mr. Head second. We've been good down there, Mr. Head. Yay. Any more discussion? Did you get that, Mr.? Yes, okay. Yes, indeed. Thank you. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Buddy on?
Thank you.
All right. You're on, brother.
Can I have my packet back?
Your packet back?
I was like, I'm not your packet.
You just want to be me now?
Ignite Lacrosse, Mr. Simic. There's a fire, I'm gonna be around you, I'm telling you. You're good, go.
Hello, I'm the owner, or majority owner, and general manager, and one of the players for the Nashville Ignite Lacrosse Club. We've been operating the last 2 years, but we have not had a home game because we haven't had a home rink in the city of Nashville. We field both field lacrosse teams, but our main game is box lacrosse, which is played within a hockey rink or inside of a indoor soccer center. Inside or around the city of Nashville, there's no places that can operate per our league rules except for the rinks out here in Hendersonville. So we are looking to rent either the new at Volunteer Park or the old ones at Veteran Park. I've driven out and looking at both of them. We would actually prefer the Veteran Parks one. Per our new league rules, we have to have 2 doors on both benches, and the new Volunteer Park does not have that. We can make it work. We're adults. We can jump the boards, but I don't think you guys want people jumping the boards at the new rink. So we would just use the double doors at the old rink. I'm open to any questions. I know box lacrosse is kind of a niche sport, so happy to answer anything.
Yeah, what's the league would run from when to when and
So we just joined the new North American Box Lacrosse League. Our season would start, it can start towards the end of June, but we probably won't play games until after July 4th weekend. We'll have practices and stuff like that before then, but we would run, games would run July 4th weekend through the first weekend of September.
And about how many practices a week and how many games would you have in a season?
We would probably play 6 to 8 home games, but I know a lot of other teams want to use Nashville as a hub. So we would host 2 teams, and then they would also play each other. So anywhere between 18 to 25 games over the summer, and then probably 1 to 2 practices a week. There are other facilities we can use for practice, but they're not true box lacrosse. They're just soccer things, or we've used a high school football field before.
Got it, thanks.
What about the space for it?
We have, at the old rinks, we're good. I think our staff is good with this proposal. We would treat them just like we did Sumner County Rugby or anything like that in terms of a new league coming in like this. When and if the old rinks are knocked down and we go forward with the plan to build the berm around the playground and things like that, we would have to revisit using the new rinks, obviously. I'll just be honest with you, there's been pros and cons given to me about what that sport does to the walls and the dasher boards and things, especially with practices. So, but we're good with the old rinks.
Okay.
As a staff.
And the insurance would be through your league?
Yes, we're covered both through, we're LLCing the team now, and we'll be covered through that and our league insurance as well. And I can tell you, I've been playing hockey my whole life and box lacrosse since I was 18, and I have never seen a piece of glass break or boards break or anything like that. There's more contact on the boards in hockey than there is in box lacrosse.
Questions?
so sorry, games are on the weekends, I assume?
Yeah, we'll play games on the weekends. We'll most likely practice either Thursday, Fridays, or also on the weekends.
Okay, and then about how many people, so when you bring in teams, about how many people are on each team? How many people, if you're bringing in, a couple of teams, how many people are we talking about in terms of parking and other things?
So there's about 20 guys on a game day roster, and then most teams are made up of around 30 to 35 players. Most guys who are traveling are carpooling. Some of the teams take vans and buses. But if we're hosting 2 teams for the weekend, that's probably 60 to 70 guys coming to the city for the weekend. But they're most likely carpooling or bringing a bus.
More questions? Does a motion needs to have that contingency in it as far as where they play? In your opinion?
No, I don't think so. I think you're approving this program. And
Okay, good.
for us to treat them like we would any other program in terms of fees, scheduling, anything else.
Gotcha.
I would like to make that motion. We approve it.
Thank you.
Who, what? Joe made the motion? Good job by you.
Serves a hockey line and everything.
Quit yelling at me. Mr. Golden, second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? You're doing good. I've got a Tennessee shirt in the car if you want to wear that.
Oh, so I'm the club lacrosse coach at Vanderbilt, so I'm barred to not wear that. Sorry. MTSU's okay.
We're trying to rescue your friend. We're trying. No, you're
sorry.
good. Thank you, buddy.
Thank y'all.
You bet. Hunt Factory Program, Mr. Perez.
Nice to meet you, everybody. My name is Aaron Perez. My wife and young son and I are now residents of Hendersonville. We just moved here at the end of August from Southern California, and we were in Minnesota for the last year, which is, we're happy to be here. So the Punt Factory is my company. I punted at UCLA 2004 to 2008, spent a little time in the NFL, and then also played professional goalkeeper for 4 years in my late 20s. And now we're here. I'm looking to partner with the Civitan to eventually use the city parks to do camps, clinics, and also work with the local tackle football team and do punting and kicking clinics going forward, just indefinitely as we're now residents. So that's about it. Happy to be here and answer any questions that you guys have.
And you're using the rugby field and the football field?
Drake's Creek would be ideal just because they have the football lines and you have uprights for the kicking portion of it. As on the punting side, we don't really need much other than just a green space. So there, or even volunteer park, is just a soccer field is fine.
If we were to approve this, we would like to have this at the Drakes Creek football field or volunteer park, and not the soccer complex or rugby.
Got it. Questions? Motion to approve.
If I can say a couple other things, from a scheduling standpoint, we would ask that you go through Civitan and Chris would work with us on staff as far as the schedule of fields go. That's the same thing that he does with the QB Vision program, which is pretty much the same format that they're looking to do here with the Punt Academy.
Yes, sir.
Ted, you make that motion?
Motion to approve, as
Mr.
long as
Head.
they work through Civitan and they use either volunteer park or the football field at Drakes Creek Park.
I got a second from Mr. Perry. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. All opposed? Thank you, my friend.
Thank you, sir.
Real
Ma'am.
quick, also we'll need your insurance. Chris passed it along, but we need it to list the city of Hendersonville as additionally insured.
I'll get that done
Okay.
by the morning. Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
ma'am.
I feel good about this. I really do.
You know, it's funny.
Memorial
We should have had
Benches
him
Park
and
staff?
Tim before that. It should have squared off. Tim played pro football too, so we should have had y'all. You know.
He was a long snapper, so we get along.
Yeah.
Thank you, bud. Memorial Benches Park staff?
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, on page 17 of your packet, it details the 2 benches that the tennis community has raised funds to purchase for Eddie and Shirley Norris, and one for Ernie Harris. I couldn't think of people that need to be honored more, and I'm glad the tennis community has done this. And these will go at the tennis facility, similar to the one that we just installed for Deborah Armour a couple months ago. So we would just ask you all to bless the location of these benches, honoring these people.
Raptor. Second is who? Mr. Golden. Discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Doing good.
Thank you very much.
Anytime we can do that. Election chairman and vice chairman. What do we need to do?
What you need to do is let me take over the meeting for just a second while we do our yearly election of chairman and vice chairman. And I'll take nominations for chairman, and we'll vote, and then we'll take over and do the vice chairman nominations.
Make a motion, Ken.
Got a motion from Mr. Perry that Ken Hessen be the chairman. Is there any other nominations? Hearing no nominations, we'll say nominations cease. And all those in favor of Mr. Hessen being the chairman, please say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys.
Any opposed?
I worried all day about that. I thought.
Now, Mr. Hessen, you're back.
That's the reason they moved Pike away.
Now, Mr.
Think he's got something else?
Now, Mr. Hessen, it's your job to get nominations for the vice chairman.
No, that's you go ahead.
No,
You didn't-
you're back.
Didn't know I was gone.
Throwing the ball back in your court.
All right, back to the vice chair and the vote. I will take names. Mr. Pike, I've got that. Any other nominations? All in favor, say.
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. All right, show of hands. Is that all right? Show of hands? Or,
What am I doing? I don't even know what I'm
well,
doing.
we have two.
Gonna call the roll.
You do that.
Wait, who am I deciding on?
I can-
I sit closest to Ken.
Which is gonna hurt you in the overall thing.
All right, when I call your name, let me know who you vote for vice chairman, either Bennett or Pike. Mr. Head. Miss Rathert. Sorry, I'm going in the order of the attendance list
Okay,
here.
I'll say the other one, Pike.
Frank is absent. Mr. Bennett.
Mike Pike, please.
Mr. Pike.
Bennett.
Mr. Hessen.
Pike. Sorry, Mr.
Mr. Perry.
Decider? No. Oh, Mr. Got one.
You nominated.
I know it, I was changing.
Mr. Golden. Mike Pike is the vice chairman. Congratulations.
Can he come back over here?
It's the most controversial vote we've ever had.
I love you, Pike.
We gotta switch seats.
I love you, Pike. Parks Board subcommittees.
Yes, sir. Page 18 of your packet. You will see the old list of committees. With the departure of Mr. White, we have a vacancy on the maintenance committee. If anybody wants to move committees, or we have to find a place for Ms. Rathert also. So the way they would do it probably at Bowman is say, does anybody want to move to that spot? And then other than that, we would probably say, if nobody wanted to move, we would put Ms. Rathert in that spot and let you all vote on that, if that's okay with her.
I'm okay anywhere. I'm whatever y'all
So
want.
if anybody,
Would you rather be on that one, or what was the other
Oh,
one?
I'm pretty easy
You
going.
sure? Okay. All right.
Whichever.
All right. No problem.
so we'll say Ms.
I'll
Rathert,
vote Miss Rathert. No, I don't have to do that. No problem.
Ms. Rathert to the maintenance committee,
Good.
and we'll vote to approve that list with her being plugged in there.
Congratulations. I bet you've always wanted to be on the maintenance committee.
It's committee at home.
Get on the tractor.
Yeah.
You do know you have to do that.
I can do that. I can drive a tractor.
You got,
I'm a farm girl.
you got to vote, Mr. Hessen.
It's actually a push.
Motion to
approve.
approve
Okay,
committees.
we got to vote on this. Is it a motion or just
No,
vote?
sir.
Oh, I'm sorry?
No, sir.
All right. All in favor? Aye. Good. Wow.
Thank you.
It's a push more. Special events list. Does anybody have any questions? You need to add anything, sir? Anybody? We're good? All right. I'm enlightened and happy to see that there's no discipline this month. Is that good?
It's just because basketball ended. We'll be back next month with some reports, I'm sure.
Thanks a lot. Okay, Recreation Committee, Ms. Hamlin,
Thank you.
welcome. ma'am.
At last meeting, Keith had to read my report for me, but we finished up our Raptor Special Needs Basketball League, and I just want to reiterate how nice it was to go to Station Camp and Merrill Hyde and have this group perform. The crowd was phenomenal at both schools, and the children just absolutely love it. So, and I have actually had someone else reach out to me about doing their school as well. So maybe this will become a precedent. Our Raptors special needs baseball, our registration just ended. I am taking late signups this week because, as usual, I have someone call me every time after it closes and said they didn't get in. We will begin this weekend. April 1st is our first game, I think, or practice. And if anybody didn't get in, they want to get in, they need to call the Parks office and get in this week because I need to start ordering uniforms. Okay? Special Needs Easter egg hunt is coming up on Thursday, April 7th. That is at Mary's Magical Place. We want to make sure everyone knows that that will be closed for that day, starting at 2:30 to 6:30. There are 3 sessions, 3:30 to 4:15, 4:30 to 5:15, and 5:30 to 6:15. Our maximum number in each session is 25. That closed. We do have a few open spots in the 5:30 session, so I've been telling people that are emailing and calling in that if they will get in, we'll get them in there. But once it fills up, it's full. Okay? If you register late on that, you will not receive a T-shirt that we're giving out because we've already had to place our T-shirt order. Then following Raptors baseball, we'll move into Raptors kickball. That opens up for registration on April 18th and runs through May 6th. So usually what we do is we play baseball from April to mid-May, third week in May, and then we move into kickball and do that all the way through the end of June. Preschool track meet for special needs. This is something that we tried to incorporate with our preschool track meet in October, and it didn't really take off. So we're moving it to a warmer time frame and a separate event. Hopefully we'll have people that want to do this. It will be on Sunday, May 1st. Registration, let me see, I don't even have that down here on my notes, so I'll have to go back and get that. But anyway, I think registration started March 21st when it started. They have to be registered by April 8th to be guaranteed a shirt. We'll do 3-year-olds at 1:30, 4-year-olds at 2, and 5-year-olds at 2:30. So we'll take them by their age and run them, and they'll all do the 25-yard dash, hurdles, and tennis ball throw. Fishing rodeo is tentatively Friday evening, June 10th for the special needs group. I think at 5, Wade. And then the Kids Club Special Needs Program, we will be returning back to Merrill Hyde. The one concern that we have is we may have to cut it down to a 5-week program instead of a 6-week program due to the facility use of and things like that. So my thing was they'd rather get 5 weeks than no weeks. So that's what we're going for right now. Right now, we're planning on it running for 6 weeks. As I talk to Darren Frank and we see how things are working in the building, we'll know closer to that time. Once I will give them an email here shortly, and they will have until April 20th if they participated and were in the program last year to go online, which we've never done this online before. So Dallas and I are trying this. We hope this goes pretty well. And once April 20th passes, then they lose their spot. And then it's opened up to anybody who wants to sign up and get in. And that's what I have going on. Any questions?
By the way, you're talking about special needs. I want to give a shout out to Pier Place. They actually came into our First Baptist Church and cleaned all the pews and as happy as they could be. So
that's what they do.
They are wonderful
Exactly.
folks. They are wonderful folks.
Just get them to do just about anything, and they're just as happy as they can be.
Did it without a gripe, and much unlike most of us up here. Indeed. Thank you, ma'am. Recreation Ori food. I'm going to end up calling you Oreo sometime. I'm sorry about that, but
I've been called that my whole life, so you're more than welcome to call me that. Yeah. Hey, everyone. Adult softball has started last week. It has gone well from what I've heard. Babe Ruth signups finished in 3 days, which we've already hit our desired number for that. T-ball signups are still going, but our numbers already seem pretty good. Same with quick ball. Adult basketball signups start on April 1st and will end on April 27th with games on Tuesdays and Thursdays, with the game starting May 17th. Pickleball information has been updated to the city webpage.
Thank you very much, and welcome to the staff.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
You do know that you have to buy all the, never mind. Special events supervisor, Mr. Evans?
One little note, and Jimmy, I'll get with you and Penny just to give you guys a heads up, but I did actually get us, we're now approved to be in the Nashville Food Truck Association. So essentially, if we have events, I've just come into the problem where a lot of events are requesting them now, and it's kind of a free-for-all. So to kind of mainstream it and bring it down a little bit, now I can go through this association, say that we have this event coming in, we need 3 trucks, they're requesting this type of food, and that is how we're going to start booking our food trucks. This will also regulate a little bit, because like for the concession stands, I don't want to bring in 4 hot dog food trucks, because that's what we sell at the concession stand.
Well, there needs to be more discussion in that, because if a food truck comes in now, it's given back to the programs.
Correct.
So
This is only for like USSSA, the big.
yeah,
tournaments.
even that, even any food truck that's in the park now donates a percentage of their sales back.
I understand that, and they're going to continue to do that. I don't.
Well, okay.
What's your concern?
There's a lot of concerns. Too much to address on right now.
So then why has it not been a problem the last, like, however long Andrea was here running events?
Nobody came in without mine and
They
Penny's.
can't come in. They can't. It's me booking them.
Never mind.
I'll
talk to you off.
Okay. Well, whatever. That was the problem, was so many of them were requesting just to come and show up all the time. I'm trying to clean it up, because right now it's free for all. So that's what I'm trying to do. Same with the events too. I mean, as we go through this year, I'm going to look and see, like, if events are canceling, then I don't think they have the right to really come back the next year. Like, they shouldn't have priority of taking over a place from another group that wants to use it. So, I mean, I'm not trying to, it's the same kind of deal. Like,
I don't need to be dressed down on TV, okay?
no, I'm just giving you guys everywhere what my thoughts and perspectives on special events, trying to clean up what their vendors and exhibit fees are and what they are for everything. So, that's it. Whatever. I'm done. Fine. I mean, you can see the updates. Right now, it's busy. This isn't that busy of a weekend. We have a walk in the park at Memorial Park. It's about every other weekend. It's pretty busy. Next weekend, we got an event going on in every park. So,
Questions? Other than Mr. Head? Thank you, sir. Parks Maintenance Supervisor, Mr. Granat.
Hello, everyone. Last week we had broadleaf weed control applied to all athletic playing surfaces. Today we had pre-emergent and spring fertilizer going on. Maintenance staff's been holding pretty strong at about 40 work order per week completion rate. Still loving the aspect of being able to track all that with our new online app-based work orders. Just gives us such a good way of tracking and following through with everything. I just can't tell you how handy that is and how helpful. We completed several playground repairs at Mary's Magical Place last week. Recreation Concepts comes in once a year and does a walkthrough on that, along with our guys are doing them quarterly. And so when they came in, they found some wearable part stuff that we decided we'd go ahead and replace. This was kind of the first time since Mary's was put in that it was outside of the warranty, where it was time for us to spend some money and make some purchases. So we've got those parts ordered and got those all put in last week and got that done. That'll probably be a more common theme now with the amount of play that it gets and everything, those wearable parts. And as it gets a little bit of age to it, we'll be doing more repairs over there. We had a couple of issues with some the synthetic turf over there. Rec Concepts came in last week and got those fixed, so that was nice to get that addressed. We brought on 2 new park maintenance part-time workers this week. A couple of Hendersonville folks, a couple of guys that's been around the parks throughout their life. So it's nice to have some guys coming in that know the parks and have spent some time there. All of you all know Neil Kemp, and Neil was one of the guys that came in, so we're excited to have him down there. And I think that'll be a great thing to have him there. Also want to say thanks to Ken for bringing a good lunch down Friday for the maintenance staff, and it's always a good time for some fellowship, and I think everybody really enjoyed it. It was a nice break Friday, and it was a good way to finish off the week.
Questions? Thank you, Mr. Knopf. Assistant Director, Mr. Long.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We've now officially hit spring season. I think all of our leagues are officially have started games as of this past weekend. Flag football started up. We have 700 players in flag football, which continues to grow, and we have a huge need for field space. But glad to see that's a continued growing sport. Soccer is ongoing. Rec soccer, we had over 100 games on Saturday, in addition to Tennessee United games on Saturday and Sunday. Also, middle school soccer is ongoing, and then in 2 weeks, our adult soccer league will kick off on Wednesday nights. We have 8 teams in that league. In the past, that's kind of been more of a summer league, but with our field shut down this summer, we've moved it up to kind of like a late spring summer league. And then lacrosse is ongoing, and then rugby. Next week, we got a big Nash Bash tournament out at the rugby complex, so make sure you check that out as well. That's all I got.
Questions? Thank you, Mr. Long. Assistant Director, Mr. Bruce.
Thank you, Mr. Hessen. The Fast Pitch League is up and practicing, working on their game schedules. They're looking at a April 11th start for games. Going to play about 2 months for those guys. For those girls. The hockey, as you know, we've had a pretty good tournament the last 2 weekends from Echo. Everything has seemed to go really well. Bob was the director's name, so I see them coming back on a regular basis. But everything is working well. We're still working on getting that net. If you see the fencing around the rinks, there's been a net ordered for the end of the rinks to protect the pucks flying out. So that is why that fencing is there. Civitan games aren't going. They've had a few rainouts, working with them to get all those rescheduled. The middle school baseball league is playing games, and the middle school fast pitch league actually started their tournament this evening. So if you get bored on your way home tonight, you can go by there and watch some middle school girls fast pitch. Game times are at 6 and 7:30. The senior men are full force in practicing. You can actually probably catch a few videos of Bubba taking a few batting practices if you want to. Rumor has it that he is still going to play this year in the senior men league. They are starting the week of April the 11th also. So if you want to get a few autographs from Bubba before he leaves tonight, that would be great. Thank you, sir.
Well, welcome, young man. Parks Director, Mr. Gilly.
Mr. Perry's autograph is worth thousands on eBay, if you can get it. This week we'll be making some announcements regarding some of our spring concert events that we have coming up. So be on the lookout for that on our Facebook and social media. We'll be going through the budget process. You'll probably get that for your review at the end of next month. So that will be exciting times. Every day we're getting someone call, as you can just see by this list of new business tonight. Nearly every day we're getting multiple calls about people with ideas, things they want to do, events they want to have. I see no end in sight in terms of people wanting to do things. So we're managing that as a staff and trying to make sure things fit where they fit and find the proper place to help people be successful. So thank you all for your support on that, and that is my report, so we can be done by 7.
You're done good. You're done good. All right. Round table, I don't know the protocol. I'm going to ask Ms. Raptor to start.
What are we doing at the
Round table? Just
I do want to make a note that, Andy, what you said about your daily calls, I think that's a testament to the hard work and the quality of work that you and your staff have done. So kudos on that. That's an asset to the city.
Mr. Brown, I'm going to wait a minute on you. Hold on to hear everybody. Mr. Head? Mr. Fike? Barry? Mr. Golden? Mr. Bennett?
I just have one thing. I'd like to give a special shout out to both girls and boys Beach Senior High School basketball teams for making the state tournament and having 2 fantastic seasons. So congratulations to the coaches and the players of both organizations.
All right, I will entertain a motion to adjourn Mr. Pike's first, Ms. Raptor second.
Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? We're out of here.